Some trucks were more than just working machines. They arrived with ideas so bold that they seemed decades ahead of their time. Unusual cab layouts, engines placed in unexpected locations, advanced aerodynamics, and technologies that would not become common until many years later. But which trucks truly predicted the future of the highway? On this journey, we are counting down 10 trucks that challenged industry standards, influenced future designs, and proved that groundbreaking innovation could also come from heavy-duty vehicles. And the higher we climb on this list, the more surprising these ideas become. Stay with us until the end, because the number one truck took this concept to a level that still impresses people today. Scammell Scarab. Imagine a truck that could switch trailers in minutes, take up almost as little space as a passenger car, and maneuver through places where larger vehicles simply could not fit. That was the Scammell Scarab, introduced in 1948 by British manufacturer Scammell for railroad stations, factories, warehouses, and urban delivery work. Its most ingenious feature was its automatic trailer coupling system. The driver could connect or release a trailer without relying on an additional crew, which was remarkably advanced for the time. This allowed a single tractor unit to move several trailers throughout the day, reducing downtime and increasing productivity. The Scarab used a 4-cylinder gasoline engine, displacing about 127.5 cubic inches and producing approximately 38 horsepower. Later versions were also offered with diesel engines. It had a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, and a top speed of roughly 31 miles per hour. Its single front wheel was the secret behind its remarkable agility. It gave the truck an extremely tight turning radius, making it ideal for crowded loading docks, industrial yards, and narrow city streets. Its leaf spring suspension was simple, durable, and well-suited for demanding daily work. Visually, the Scarab looked like a combination of a truck, a three-wheeler, and an industrial machine. Its small, rounded cam sat directly above the front wheel, while the interior was basic and contained only the controls the driver truly needed. Widely used by British railroad companies, the Scarab anticipated a central idea of modern logistics, quickly separating the vehicle from the load to keep the operation moving. Many examples have since been preserved in museums and private collections, where their unusual shape and clever engineering still attract attention. The Scammell Scarab proved that a brilliant solution did not require high speed or a massive engine. But the next truck went even further by completely rethinking the layout of the cab. Kenworth TCF-521 CBE. During the 1950s, Kenworth decided to challenge one of the most familiar layouts in heavy-duty trucking. Instead of placing the driver above the engine, as in a traditional cab-over, the company developed the cab-beside engine configuration. In the TCF-521 CBE, the driver sat beside the mechanical components rather than directly above them. This lowered the cab, reduced the center of gravity, and made it easier to enter and exit the driving position, an important advantage for operators who climbed in and out throughout the day. The design also reduced the truck's overall height and could save approximately 990 pounds compared with certain conventional cab-over trucks. It also allowed the available space to be distributed more efficiently and created the possibility of building larger cabs. Visually, however, the result was impossible to mistake. The offset cab gave the truck an asymmetrical appearance that looked unusual even by 1950s standards. From behind the wheel, the driver experienced the width of the vehicle differently, while the engine remained close and accessible from the side. In practical terms, the concept attempted to combine better stability, lower weight, and easier cab access without making the truck excessively long. It was an inventive way to use every available inch, especially in urban and highway operations where both cargo space and cab room mattered. Despite its advantages, the idea never became widely popular. Its unusual shape, maintenance challenges, and the development of conventional tilting cabs eventually pushed the system aside. Even so, the TCF-521 remains one of Kenworth's boldest experiments. And if placing the cab beside the engine already sounded radical, the next truck hid its entire power plant in an even more surprising location. Büssing Commodore U. During the 1960s, German manufacturer Büssing introduced a solution that completely changed the experience inside a truck cab. In the Commodore U, the engine was not positioned in front of the driver or directly beneath the seat. It was mounted horizontally under the chassis in a low, almost hidden location. This layout freed up valuable interior room and left the cab floor nearly clear of the large engine tunnel found in many trucks of that era. For the driver, that meant easier movement, more usable space, and a much more comfortable environment during long-distance trips. Placing the engine beneath the chassis also helped reduce the noise, heat, and vibration entering the cab. Instead of spending the day almost directly on top of the engine, the driver was better isolated from the mechanical components, which made a major difference after several hours on the road. From the outside, the Commodore U retained the strong, purposeful appearance of European trucks from that period, with a wide cab and commanding presence. But its greatest innovation was hidden underneath, where engineers had to carefully manage cooling, protection, and maintenance access. The design combined a roomy cab with a relatively compact overall vehicle without sacrificing cargo space. The underfloor engine became so closely associated with Büssing that it remains one of the most memorable features in the company's history. Enjoying this trip through trekking ideas that arrived years ahead of their time? Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more machines that change the history of the highway. And if hiding an engine beneath the chassis already seemed brilliant, the next truck introduced a cab designed to cross entire countries with a level of comfort few drivers could imagine at the time. DAF 2600. In 1962, Dutch manufacturer DAF introduced a truck that treated the driver in a way that was still unusual for the period. Instead of focusing only on payload, power, and durability, the 2600 was designed to provide genuine comfort on international routes, when crossing several countries was a far more demanding experience than it is today. The cab was spacious, intelligently arranged, and equipped with a sleeping area that allowed drivers to rest during extended trips. Its large glass surfaces improved visibility around the truck and brought more natural light into the cab, reducing the enclosed feeling common in many older designs. Inside, nearly every section served a practical purpose. The floor, seats, storage areas, and sleeping accommodations were developed around the daily needs of drivers who practically lived on the road. For many European truckers, this level of attention to comfort and ergonomics felt like an entirely new category of vehicle. Visually, the DAF 2600 featured a broad front end, straight body lines, and a cab that projected strength and stability. It had a commanding presence on the highway, but its real breakthrough was the way it transformed the driver's position into both a workplace and a place to rest. The truck helped establish the idea that long-haul vehicles needed to take care of the person behind the wheel. Its legacy can be seen in nearly every modern sleeper truck, with a roomy cab, sleeping bunk, storage compartments, and features designed for life on the road. The DAF 2600 did more than introduce a larger cab. It helped redefine what a long-distance truck should provide for its driver. The next vehicle, however, was not designed merely to travel down the highway. It was built to become the center of attention wherever it stopped. General Motors Futurliner. In 1939, General Motors created a truck that was designed to carry far more than freight. The Futureliner was developed for traveling exhibitions across the United States, serving as a rolling showcase of technology, design, and industrial innovation. Its elevated driving position gave the operator an unusual view of the road and gave the vehicle an unforgettable physical presence. The Futureliner also featured power-assisted steering and an automatic transmission, both extremely advanced features for a heavy vehicle of that era. Its most impressive feature was found along the enormous sides of the body. Once the vehicle reached its destination, large panels opened to transform the truck into a stage, exhibition stand, and presentation area. All the equipment remained protected inside the body while the Futureliner was traveling. This allowed complete exhibits to be assembled without relying on large permanent structures. Within a short period of time, the Futureliner could change from a parked truck into the centerpiece of a public event. With its rounded body, dramatic paintwork, and enormous proportions, the Futureliner looked more like a rolling attraction than a conventional truck. When parked, It drew crowds. When moving, its height and shape made every trip look like a parade. Only 12 Futureliners were built, making the surviving vehicles extremely rare and highly desirable among collectors. Today, restored examples are treated as major pieces of transportation history, preserving an era when the feature was presented to the public from inside a colossal machine. The Futureliner proved that a truck could educate, entertain, and bring people together. But the next vehicle took that futuristic vision even further, combining a gas turbine with an ambitious attempt to reinvent long-distance transportation. Ford Big Red. In 1964, Ford unveiled a prototype intended to show what the future of highway transportation might look like. Known as Big Red, it impressed audiences with its enormous size, elevated cab, and gas turbine powertrain. Instead of a conventional diesel engine, Big Red used a turbine that promised smoother operation, fewer vibrations, and a completely different driving experience. Its sound was also unlike that of a traditional heavy truck, resembling an aircraft more than a diesel-powered tractor. The most remarkable innovations, however, were found inside the cab. Big Red included climate control, a kitchen, a bathroom, a television, and a communication system, turning the interior into a true home on wheels for long-distance travel. The space was designed to reduce fatigue and provide the driver with a level of comfort that was exceptionally rare in 1964. Bringing so many living features together inside a commercial vehicle was well beyond normal industry standards. Big Red also pulled 2 semi-trailers specially developed for the project, creating a massive and visually unforgettable combination. At exhibitions and on the road, its intense red paint, rounded front end, and huge glass areas made it look like a machine from a different era. Although it never entered mass production, Big Red became one of the most famous prototypes in Ford history. Its fully equipped living space anticipated many comfort features that would not become common in long-haul trucks until years later. Big Red demonstrated that a truck could be powerful, comfortable, and nearly self-contained during a trip. But the next concept took the gas turbine and placed it inside an even more daring and aerodynamic design. Chevrolet Turbo Titan III. In 1965, Chevrolet introduced a truck that broke sharply with the established look of American heavy-duty vehicles. The Turbo Titan III replaced the conventional diesel engine with a gas turbine, delivering smooth operation, quick response, and a sound far closer to an airplane than a traditional truck. The body was equally striking. Its cab was low, wide, and highly aerodynamic, with rounded surfaces designed to move through the air more efficiently. At a time when most trucks had nearly vertical front ends, this shape showed an unusual concern for stability, fuel consumption, and high-speed airflow. Inside, the dashboard looked as though it had been designed for a pilot. The instruments surrounded the driver, while several controls were inspired by aviation. The goal was to provide greater control and make driving feel completely different from operating an ordinary 1960s truck. The turbine reduced vibration and used fewer moving components than a traditional piston engine. However, high fuel consumption and the cost of the technology made large-scale production unlikely, especially in an industry that depended on efficiency, durability, and simple maintenance. Even though it remained a prototype, the Turbo Titan III became a symbol of the period when major manufacturers believed gas turbines might eventually dominate the highway. Its styling, controls, and powertrain still stand out because they anticipated later discussions about aerodynamics, driver comfort, and alternative propulsion. The Chevrolet Turbo Titan III showed that even a truck's driving position could resemble an aircraft cockpit, but the next model proved that a much simpler innovation, when applied to the right diesel engine, could permanently change European heavy transportation. Volvo L495 Titan Turbo. In 1954, Swedish manufacturer Volvo placed a truck on the road that helped transform European heavy transportation. The L495 Titan Turbo was among the first production trucks equipped with a turbocharged diesel engine, at a time when the technology was still considered unusual. Its major advancement was the turbocharger, which used exhaust gases to force additional air into the engine. With more air available for combustion, the engine could produce greater power without requiring a significantly larger or heavier design. In practical driving, the extra strength was most noticeable on hills and during loaded acceleration. While many trucks from the period quickly lost speed on steep grades, the Titan could maintain a stronger pace, reducing strain on the driver and shortening travel times. That performance made a real difference on long routes. In mountainous regions and during demanding heavy haul work, the truck could move substantial loads more efficiently, proving that turbocharging was not merely an interesting technical experiment. It was a useful solution for everyday transportation. Visually, the Titan followed the rugged style of 1950s European trucks, with a long hood, elevated cab, and durable appearance. The deep diesel sound was joined by the distinctive whistle of the turbocharger, making it clear that something different was operating beneath the hood. The L495 helped demonstrate that manufacturers could increase performance without dramatically increasing the size or weight of the engine. This paved the way for turbocharged diesel technology to become nearly universal in heavy trucks decades later. The Volvo L495 Titan Turbo did not need an extravagant cab or unusual bodywork to appear advanced. Its genius was hidden in the powertrain, providing the strength required to change how heavy trucks handled steep grades, large loads, and long distances. Enjoying these technologies that transformed heavy-duty transportation? Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss more videos about machines that made history. And if Volvo showed how one innovation could revolutionize an engine, the next truck attempted to reinvent the entire vehicle. MAZ-2000 Perestroika. In 1988, during the final years of the Soviet Union, the MAZ-2000 Perestroika appeared with a design that broke nearly every traditional rule of heavy truck construction. Instead of maintaining a clear division between the tractor and semi-trailer, it integrated the cab into the cargo structure. Its most advanced feature was its modular construction. The front power module contained the major components responsible for moving the truck and could theoretically be replaced or combined with additional units depending on the type of operation. This idea could have allowed operators to adapt the truck for different loads without replacing the entire combination. In a large fleet, a damaged or defective power module could potentially be removed and exchanged, reducing downtime and simplifying maintenance. The concept also created the possibility of increasing the vehicle's hauling capability by adding more powered modules. It was a completely different way of thinking about a truck, treating it as a platform made from interchangeable sections. Visually, the Perestroika was low, long, and highly integrated. The cab blended into the body, producing a continuous and more aerodynamic surface that looked dramatically different from the boxy trucks dominating the roads in the late 1980s. Inside, the driver's forward position was intended to improve space utilization and provide a better view of the road. The entire vehicle gave the impression that the cab, powertrain, and cargo body had been designed as one unified machine. The MAZ-2000 anticipated concepts now appearing in interchangeable logistics platforms, modular electric trucks, and autonomous freight vehicles. Its central idea was to adapt the vehicle to the mission instead of forcing every operation to use the same fixed truck. Although it never reached large-scale production, the Perestroika became one of the most memorable experiments in Soviet engineering. Its legacy comes from the bold decision to rethink the entire structure of a heavy truck, rather than simply modifying its engine or enlarging its cab. And if the Perestroika already looked ready for another century, the #1 truck pushed aerodynamics to a level that remains remarkable today. Colani Truck 2001. In 1978, German designer Luigi Colani introduced a truck that ignored nearly every established rule in the industry. The Colani Truck 2001 abandoned straight lines and a vertical front end in favor of a completely rounded body, designed to move through the air with far less resistance. Its cab featured a curved shape, a panoramic windshield, and a driving position surrounded by glass. This enormous glass area provided the driver with exceptional visibility, while the front entry system reinforced the unconventional and experimental nature of the design. Its greatest advancement was aerodynamics. Every curve was shaped to control the airflow around the cab, reduce turbulence, and decrease the amount of energy required to keep the truck moving at highway speeds. Reducing aerodynamic drag also pointed toward meaningful fuel savings. At a time when many trucks still looked like large walls pushing against the wind, Colani argued that body design could be just as important as engine performance. Visually, the Truck 2001 appeared to be moving, even while standing still. Its low, rounded nose, partially enclosed wheels, and enormous windshield gave it a presence unlike any conventional truck from the 1970s. The driving experience would also have been completely different. The driver sat in a raised central position, looking through a vast glass area that resembled the cockpit of a high-speed machine, rather than a traditional truck cab. Decades before aerodynamics became a major priority in modern truck design, the Colani project already demonstrated that cab shape could improve efficiency, stability, and fuel economy. Many current trucks follow the same basic philosophy through rounded corners, smoother surfaces, and better management of airflow. Although the Truck 2001 never entered mass production, it became a symbol of German experimental design. It inspired discussions about visibility, fuel economy, and the use of flowing organic shapes in commercial vehicles. The Colani Truck 2001 was more than an unusual-looking vehicle. It was a prediction of where highway transportation was heading. By anticipating an issue that now influences the entire trucking industry, it earns the #1 position as one of the boldest ideas ever applied to a heavy-duty vehicle. Throughout this list, we saw trucks that challenged their time with unusual cab layouts, gas turbines, advanced comfort, modular construction, and aerodynamic solutions that would not gain widespread attention until decades later. These machines were more than working vehicles. They proved that innovation, efficiency, and bold thinking could completely transform heavy-duty transportation. Now tell us in the comments, which of these trucks had you seen before? Which feature surprised you the most? And which model would you most like to see in person? Enjoyed the video? Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support tells YouTube that this content is valuable, helps the channel grow, and allows more truck enthusiasts to discover our videos. See you in the next video.